Le nouveau président de la République, et c'est Emmanuel.
The real work starts here, the election night rally, where supporters dare to dream and their expectations are elevated, even if they're all a bit patchy on the detail. You're happy, obviously?
Yeah!
But does Macron have a plan, a real plan to change France?
Well, we don't know about the future, we don't know the exact plan, but I know that this is the first election that I'm voting for a candidate that I really believe in.
It's a really good news for France and Europe, and France is back.
What is Macron going to do that is going to make a difference?
Don't ask me that kind of question.
The morning after, 25 miles away from those celebrations, this is where the work needs to get going. One of those bits of Paris that knows what deindustrialisation is. This park overlooks an old Peugeot factory. What everybody says is that Macron's problem is the Parliament, the National Assembly, that he has to get a majority there in order to get things done. And that is undoubtedly true, but that is just the half of it. Because the real problem is to come up with ideas, with policies that are actually going to work, that are going to deliver economic life to parts of the country that have had it difficult in the last few decades, and to do so on a timescale that matches people's current impatience for change. This is Aulnay-sous-Bois, where the left-wing populist Jean-Luc Mélenchon has a high level of support. This couple seem to encapsulate the division France faces.
We don't share the same views of Macron. It will be very tough for the poorest people. There will be new decrees in the summer that will hurt them.
But he's aware of new technology, of the changes in the way we communicate. He knows about young people, social networks, and what all that can bring to the workplace.
I think his problems will start very, very soon. I know people who voted for Mélenchon who will be out on the streets.
Gilbert is a local taxi driver. He voted Front National, mainly because they're tough on crime and drugs, but also on economic grounds. Do you think Macron can deliver change? Because he says he's the change
No, he can't do anything. To change the situation, I think he needs about 20, 30 years.
20, 30 years?
20, 30 years.
Today, Macron met François Hollande at VE Day commemorations. Hollande was one who tried to change the country, but stalled in the face of the famous French resistance. Will the same happen now?
The guy is so determined, and our institutions give him the opportunity to implement his agenda, whatever it takes, but it means we have a really high risk of political turmoil during these 5 years.
You can't overestimate how important this is for the future of the EU and the liberal establishment.
It's the last bullet of the pro-globalization forces, because if it succeeds, both anti-system voting will decrease. The xenophobic one, Marine Le Pen, and the alter-globalization one, Mr. Mélenchon.
The left-wing one, yeah.
But if it doesn't succeed, then the question will only be which anti-system voting will overthrow the system.
The French have often had a tendency to deride Anglo-Saxon economics, but here they are. They've elected someone who's cut in rather Anglo-Saxon cloth. Some would say that's just as Britain is actually moving in the opposite direction. But it means that Macron talks about labour market flexibility, reforming the European Union. He talks about technology and startups, business and enterprise, all the stuff that we've heard about. But here's the thing. If defeating populism is your game, that particular combination of measures, well, it hasn't been altogether successful in the Anglo-Saxon countries. At least Monsieur Macron understands the task at hand, with words for those who voted for his rival.
Ne les sifflez pas.
Don't whistle, don't heckle. They express anger, confusion, and sometimes conviction.
Un désarroi, parfois des convictions.
But I will do all I can during the next 5 years to ensure there will no longer be a need to vote for extremes.
At times he looked nervous last night, and well he might be. His crowd may party, but winning a battle against Marine Le Pen is not the same as winning the war. His task is immense, to solve the problems that draw voters to Le Pen's solutions.